I'm Dr. Bushra Hameedur Rahman. I've been teaching mass communication since last 23 years in Punjab University. Presently, I am heading the Department of Journalism, and I've done my Ph.D. also from Punjab University, and I'm presently heading an association of media academic professionals. The idea behind this association was that how the media academics of Pakistan, both from private and public universities, need to work together so that we can address the concerns of the media and also of media education. And the idea behind this MCAP was that if we are working in isolation, we never create anything. We need to work together to create new things. Since last 3 years, we have been holding international conferences where we have been having, apart from international scholars, we've also been inviting scholars from Sindh, from interior Sindh, from KPK, from Karachi, public and private university, from southern Punjab. And these scholars come and they share their research work with us, and we have been working on it consistently. And by the grace of God, now we are in a position to show the alternatives of media education. The idea again is that it's very easy to criticize the way things are. Everybody can do situation analysis, but what is the way forward? And that way forward cannot come from one person. It has to become, it can only come when people are working together. It's not just about saying, look, this is what is coming. It's also about how do we want to see our future. So MCAP has been working in this regard. And then apart from that, we've also been working on media research. We've also been working with the media academic and policymakers. Again, the idea is that how we can proceed together. Well, when I joined the university, I was teaching research methods and theories of communication and language and communication. But over a period of time, I felt that we really don't have any political or economic crisis. We definitely have a moral crisis. And then I also felt that everyone seems to have a problem with the media and they're criticizing the media. So, but media is not camera and lights, it's basically the people who are working in the media organization. So, what is the responsibility of media academics? And as an educationist, what is my responsibility? So, since last 4 years, I've started teaching media ethics. And while I was teaching this media ethics, I realized that when you are talking about media ethics, taking ethical decision is also a skill. So what we usually tend to do is that we are all talking about the value system and ethics, but when it comes to actual practice, we all fail. So we are talking ethics, but we are not walking ethics. What I mean is that, you know, in our drawing room talk or in an informal setting, we're all saying that we should be honest, we should be kind, we should be generous, we should be forgiving. But in our practical life, we fail to demonstrate those ethical values. When we have to forgive, we don't forgive. When we have to tell the truth, we don't tell the truth. So how can I bring this kind of approach in my classroom? So since last 4 years, I've been working on that. And in the journey, in the process, what I've been doing here is that I've been trying to bring the practical examples of how you need to bring out your ethical values. There are many interesting things. लेकिन इसमें एक बड़ी interesting जो चीज़ है वो है, it's something to do with the moral development stages of one's life. And it really helped me in understanding that a lot of your ethical decisions are dependent on a moral development stage that you are in. in this context, there is a very interesting work of Mary Bielenke. Mary Bielenke had conducted a research, it was a longitudinal 5-year research, and she divided the work into 5 stages. First stage is, and now this moral development stages has nothing to do with the biological age. So in the first stage, she calls that a silenced woman. I mean, this is the stage when the person does not think that he can think for himself or herself. And they just follow the orders because they don't feel that they are capable of taking any decisions. Second stage of moral development is when one is doing things to please others. So their decisions, their ethical decision is basically based on approval of others. So if somebody is behaving like a good mother, they will behave like a good mother because this is expected of her. And अगर आपने अच्छा बेटा है या भाई है या अच्छा journalist है, तो you will try to fit in so that you get the approval of others. So your decisions are based on that. Third moral development stage is when you don't want to listen to others and you say, I don't want to listen to others, I know what is right. So don't come and tell me what is right. So at this stage of a person's life, one becomes a little radical and reactionary. And he says, that person says, leave me alone, I know what is right. So he's not listening. Whereas in the fourth stage, that person starts listening and then he starts, but he does what he believes to be right. Whereas the fifth stage, which is really interesting stage, is that when the person understands what is his or her role in the society. So whatever he or she is doing, it's not out of reaction, it's not out of to please people, it is because they've understood that they have a contract with the society and they understand that because of this contract with the others in the society, whatever their decision they will take will be based on justice and on care. And as a woman, I feel that this particular ability to sympathize, to empathize with the other is most important. So when you are taking decisions as a journalist, it has what we try to really rub into our students is that a journalist is not a detached member of a society. He or she has to think that he is part of the society. He has to be a caring individual. And the philosophy behind it is that I am because we all are here, and we all are here because I am here. So we are connected to each other. Unfortunately, this Western model of journalism says that you just have to quote unquote be objective, and as a detached member you need to report things. But what we are trying to teach in our classrooms now is that you should not think of yourself as a detached member, but you have to see yourself as a caring member of the society, because whatever you will say will have an effect. And whatever you will say can disintegrate the society or it can integrate the society. So we need to work on this model, that how despite our differences and despite the conflicts, how can we work together? So my focus has been, when I'm teaching media ethics, has been on this particular thing, that we need to work on our value systems. We need to understand at what moral development stage we are in. And then we need to understand how are we taking our decisions, and we need to understand that how those decisions are affecting just not me, or just not as an individual, but also in the society as a whole. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that when you come into journalism profession, you come there as a human being who has feelings, who cares about his or her society. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, what has started happening is that journalism is only equated to a couple of faces that come on the screen in talk shows. So apart from those 4 or 5 faces that we see, there is a huge team of journalists and people who are working with them. And they are very hardworking people. So we need to think about them also, and those people who have come into this field, they also need to be appreciated here. And unfortunately, what has happened here is that in this competition to be the first one and to get this rating, we have reduced journalism to only conflicts. And when you are just talking about conflicts, you're bringing more anxiety, you're bringing more restlessness in the society. Good journalism is not just to talk about conflicts. It's about, yes, you do talk about conflicts, but it's about, through the conflicts, how do you come up with alternative ideas? Unfortunately, what has started happening is that when you bring the conflicts in the media, it started taking very ugly shapes. And we have started abusing the other. There is no tolerance for the others. And the worst scene is that whoever is there, they think that they're absolutely right and the other person is absolutely wrong. Now, this is not the purpose. The purpose should have been that you need to listen to the other, and how when we listen to each other, we understand each other's perspective, and ultimately something good must come out which has to be good for the society. And we need to educate the audience that how from these conflicts new things can emerge. But this kind of journalism is definitely not the journalism. It's not an ethical journalism which can serve any purpose in the society. At the same time, it's also very important to understand this whole concept of truth. How do we understand this concept of truth? Just because one has seen something and you take the camera and you just show it the way it is and you claim that this is the truth, this is not truth. We need to understand that truth is something beyond what is apparent, trying to go underneath the surface of what is apparent. And as good journalists, what we need to do is to do this kind of research to find out the truth. Honestly speaking, if you go around with the mic and say, कि जी टमाटर महंगा हो गया, जी टमाटर महंगा हो गया, so that is not journalism. Good journalism would be that, why टमाटर महंगा हो गया? Why? What are the reasons? What are the factors behind it? That's how you do. So you're trying to go beyond what is apparent. Journalism is basically it's the field. You are getting yourself connected to everyone, just not in your own society, but internationally also. So what is the need of the time is that our journalism students need to break this trend of journalism that we are seeing nowadays in the media, because now media has lost its credibility also and has lost its popularity also. So young people need to come to journalism with an alternative ways of looking into it. They have to make interesting stories, make people connect to the concerns and the issues of the society. That we must keep in mind what Quaid-e-Azam said: unity, faith, and discipline. Now, what I mean from unity is, what basically we understand from the concept of unity is that we must be together despite our differences. We have to understand each other and work together. We must have faith that we can work together when we are working together for a just cause. And this is only possible when we lead a disciplined life. So I have this request to make all the young journalists that never ever forget this motto, that is unity, faith, and discipline in their lives.